Today on Sally.
This has got to be done. There's no other way.
To meet couples who say they would love to adopt the child. And we're even going to talk to a young married couple who are spending their time looking for a loving family for their unborn child. Find out how they give a child up for adoption. Now, this is Paul and Andrea. They've been married for 2 years. They have 2 children, ages 3 and 1. They, in my mind, are probably the unsung heroes of today's parents, and I'll tell you why in a minute. They're expecting their 3rd child in 3 months. Why did you contact the show?
We contacted the show because of situations and circumstances that we feel it's in the best interest that we proceed with this because of reasons that we can't help right now.
Okay. Andrea, you are how many months pregnant?
6.
When did you decide you wanted to place this child with an adoptive family?
After we had our 2nd child, I had complications with her. So we decided if we were to get pregnant again, that we would think about giving it up for adoption.
Are you both positive that this is the right thing to do for you?
Yes.
Very. Our family and friends, more of our family, more or less, is with it 100%. They understand our situations and our circumstances and our inability to provide for the child.
To cope.
And we want to give the child up for adoption not because we don't want the child.
Of course.
We want to give up the child because it's the best thing for it. We can't give 100%.
The child wouldn't
We have a hard
have
enough
the
time
room.
providing now.
The child wouldn't have the room. The
No.
child wouldn't have a whole lot of things that you think this child can get, right?
Yes.
I agree with you. Is it a boy or a girl?
It's a boy.
Boy.
You are not working with any organization, right?
No, not right now.
All right, where? Jeff, good, sit down.
Hi, Jeff Kasky.
An adoption like they, what percentage?
Opens to different people, Sally.
What does it mean to you two? Explain it to Jeff.
We want an open adoption where we can tell him that we love him and to know that we did it because we love him, so he can get placed.
And to see the child on a
Yes.
regular basis.
And to write him, see pictures.
So you, Jeff, if you can help these people out, they have to find somebody in the Minnesota, St. Paul area.
Right, I understand. The concern with open adoption is that many times it doesn't give the adoptive families and the children and the birth parents the closure that sometimes they need from the adoption process. It's something that we typically don't do in my office, that kind of open adoption where there's a lot of contact and there's periodic visits by the birth parents. It's sometimes confusing to the child as he or she grows up. But there's always arrangements we can make, and certainly there are prospective adoptive families out there who are absolutely willing to do that.
Yes, I know.
We want everybody to know that I love my child.
Right.
And I will always love. This has got to be done. Pick up our child because this is the best thing for him. It's the best thing for us, and hopefully it'll be the best thing for one of the families out there.
Can you try to help them in their area? As you said, you don't usually do this.
Well, we typically don't do this kind of open adoption. However,
Maybe you know someone who does?
Well, I would never tell somebody that I would never try to help them.
Okay.
I would certainly be willing to do my very best to help you.
Maybe even contact somebody in their area? who
Yes,
might know.
yes, absolutely.
That's all I'm asking.
And the answer is yes.
As we go to a break, adopt a child.
It's just something that I feel would make our life probably as perfect as anybody else that has a child also.
Sally and the show have asked me if I would do a favor for you guys, and I've agreed to, and that is I'd like to help you with an adoption, and we've agreed to waive the legal fees.
If you're
Now let's meet this couple. They desperately want to have a child. This is April and Claudia. She is a nurse. He works as a sheriff's officer. How long have you been trying to have a baby?
It's been about 2 years since we started.
Even to April, what are they?
The biggest fear is getting yourself really happy for it, going through the procedures, And then you hear the stories about how at the last minute the birth mother changes her mind.
Right.
It doesn't go through. Something happens, and you've already gotten everything planned. You have it worked out in your mind about being a good parent and how you're going to give so much to this child, and then it's taken away and you're crushed. Right. And that's really hard to take. It's hard.
You have questions. I want to bring out somebody who works in the private adoption business, and I'll ask him some questions. This is Jeff Kasky from One World Adoption. They're in Florida, you're in New Jersey.
Yes.
So, would you have him come out? Jeff, you and April, why you're here?
Well,
besides answering my questions.
Sally and the show have asked me if I would do a favor for you guys, and I've agreed to, and that is I'd like to help you with an adoption.
Well, I'm sure there still are.
There may be some costs in connection with taking care of the birth mother, but we will do everything we possibly can to keep them.
So will you keep in touch with us?
Absolutely.
Okay. We'll be right back. Productions. Join us on our website if you have any questions, sallyjr.com.